All right, day number 19. It is kind of amazing that I've gone 19 days without record shopping. Have kind of thought about it, and I'm just getting back into the swing of things. It's going to be pretty exciting. So I was thinking about all these record stores I haven't been at for a month. I mean, I can just imagine that probably the stock is going to be built up pretty good. So it's going to be a good day. So, which totally awesome. So things are going good. Definitely had quite a turnaround since day 14. I know that was a pretty down day. But day number 18 over here, Jefferson Airplane, Surrealistic Pillow. Thank you for all the comments on it. Seems like it's a pretty popular album, as one would assume. So kind of talked about the mono version of it. Definitely mono in the stereo. So good. Again, if you can find it on mono, definitely pick it up because it's just interesting to hear a different take. The stereo and the mono thing. But all right, today. So I had mentioned yesterday that I had an album that I don't think I've seen anybody ever mention before, and it's a very, very important album, I think, in the grand scheme of things. There's a couple of elements that go into it. It's an international artist, I guess, not something out of the the normal, I mean, obviously we see some artists, UK artists, things like that, but obviously the Japanese music, Japanese rock, I think is kind of pretty popular around these parts at this time. But let's talk about Brazil for a minute. So this is Canto Veloso. This is his first album, self-titled, from about 1967, 68. I forget exactly when it was released. I want to say maybe 68. And this album is huge because this is sort of in kind of the grand scheme of things. This album really was kind of the match that lit the fuse, I guess. So it kind of kicked off what's referred to as the Tropicalia movement, which is it's usually, they usually say it's sort of like a what do they want to say? It's sort of like a cannibalistic movement where it's sort of art and politics and music, everything is just all combined. So really, with the 60s counterculture, sort of the exact same thing. But this is the first time this is happening in in Brazil. So it's a cool album. There are a few kind of hard tracks to kind of get into for me personally, but I think what's good on the album sort of outweighs the bad. My Portuguese isn't the best, so you'll have to bear with me here, but Tropicalia, of course, leads off the album. Just a fantastic, just very strange song. Sort of has the jungle rhythms, has a little bit of the fuzz guitar. Clarice is pretty cool. Let's see. I don't even know how to pronounce this. It's I believe it's Alegra. I don't know what that is. It's but this is it means joy, basically. It's Joy basically is the name of the song. So it's really, really cool. It has some nice fuzz tones on it. The album kind of goes into two songs here after it. They go into it. Kind of slows the album down kind of a bit. But on the flip side, on side B, it kicks off with Super Bacana, I'm sorry, and that one is a really awesome sort of 60s psychedelic song, and then it ends with the song ELES. I have no idea how to pronounce it, but I'm not going to butcher it, so anybody out there, definitely take a listen to this album. I got a pretty good story about this album, too. One thing, too, Canto Veloso, soon after this, Canto Veloso and Gilbert Gil, who were Gilberto Gil, they were both exiled, and they did a couple albums, and came back obviously, but this was some heavy duty stuff, for what was going on in the 60s, and definitely awesome stuff. So Gilberto Gil, Os Mutantes, Canto Veloso, I would say that they're probably kind of the top three in that type of the Tropicalia movement. Os Mutantes, of course, known kind of for like Batmacubore, which is like Batman, I think is what they're saying. I'm not sure offhand, but it's on the Nuggets, the Nuggets 2 box set if you have it. So, but very interesting story. This album has eluded me for years. I was looking for it for probably, I'd say honestly, maybe about 2 years straight. And just, nowhere had it. I was really doing the online thing. And I don't do eBay. I really don't, because to me, eBay is like the most, just, you bid on a record, the seller sends it to you. You have no idea. If you've never purchased anything from the seller before, I see people on there and they grade records as good, which, like, good that's bottom, man. That's like the worst. That's like the worst record you can have. And I've bought some records from people that was just, they say good, and they're just like pristine, and then other people it's just like absolute junk. So it's not consistent. So I stay away from eBay. I've gotten burned too many times from them. But I was looking all around all these different websites, and I found one website that had it, and I don't know if I should name them and shame them or not, but I haven't bought anything from them. They're a pretty big label, but I ordered the record from them, and this is like a repress on the Lilith label, which is like a Russian repress label. I'm sure a lot of us have records from them, and so I put in this order, and this is the only thing I ordered because I hate ordering from them. I really do, because it's really, they send it, the way that they send it, it just takes forever. And what they do, and I dig this, like, if you place an order, you go on their website and you order all these records, they don't actually tell you what's in stock until you get the order. Like, until you open the box when you get home, there, when it ships to your house, like, that's the only time you know what exactly you're getting. Because it's like, you're I think they bill your card, but it's just kind of how it works is like when they finally bill your card, it's like you probably get the package like the next day or something like that. It's just it's horrendous. The system is just terrible that they have. So I've gone before, and there's sometimes they'll have these sales where it's like, oh, if you spend $120 then, or you spend $100, shipping's free or whatever, or you get like 10% off or 20% off, some crap like that. And what happens is you order all this stuff, and then you don't have enough for it to be like to qualify for the shipping or qualify for the free shipping, because they don't have all of it in stock. And then like when you get your thing, it's like, oh, hey, you spent $103, but we didn't send you everything because you had to pay like $30 to ship all this stuff. So it's horrible, just a horrible website. I wish they had a better system, and I would order more stuff from them. But it's just it's miserable, because like you never get the stuff that you're like, oh, I really want to get this. It's never in stock. You know what I mean? Anyhow, rant over. So I ordered this record from them. It was the only place I had seen it online. I have probably like 5 or 6 different websites of stuff that places that I order from pretty frequently, and nobody had it. They had like his later stuff, but this one is the jewel. Nobody ever seems to have this one. And so I order it. Finally, it's the only thing I ordered, because I was like, you know what, I'm just going to order this, and when they when they send it to me, I know that they'll have it. It's going to be great. I order it. The order processes. I'm like, oh, finally, I'm finally getting the record. And this is a horrible day. So I finally get the record. I open it up, and I pull it out, and it's Gene Simmons from Kiss, his solo album on a picture disc, which was put out on the same label, and the numbers were just transposed. And you know what I mean, where it's like whatever this number is, it's like, what is it, 131 is what the number was on this one, and the Gene Simmons one was like 313 or something like that. I don't remember. And I have never been so upset in my entire life. Like, I was furious. So I call them, and I'm like, listen, you sent me this record, I wanted this record. So the guy goes on the thing and he says, oh, we have it in stock. And I was like, all right, well, can you ship it out to me? And he's like, well, if you ship the other record, the wrong record we sent to you back first, then we'll ship that out to you. And I was just like, you know what, I'm not dealing with this. I was like, am I going to get compensated on the shipping with it? He was like, no, just pay for the shipping, and then we'll ship you a right record. So basically, not only did they want to make me pay for shipping to send it back, to send me the right record that I originally ordered, they wanted me to send it back first before they would send it out. And who knows what would have happened? Somebody may have ordered it online and they may have only had one copy, whatever the case may be. Never been so upset in my life. So I didn't send it back. I sold it to like a used record store that we have here, and I was just like, if you want to give me $1 for it, I'll take it at this point. So I haven't bought anything else from that since then. So it was just a horrible customer service experience with it. That it was terrible, and I mean, I don't know. It's a big place. It's a big place. They have a big warehouse and everything like that, and they're pretty well known. So. Anyhow, again, rant over. So I about 2 or 3 days later, it showed up on one website that I always buy records from. So all was right in the world, and there it is. So again, Cantano Veloso. Go check this album out. This is definitely a cool album. So if you're really into psych and maybe even like the international psych scene, this is a good place to start. So, all right, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.